You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are eliminated. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 273 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and Chris is running late. He is coming home from the stadium, but fear not. I do have a co-host for the time being while we wait for Chris to arrive. Now, I don't know how excited you guys are going to be here to hear from this douchebag, but I'm going to bring him on anyway because I promised you that I would. I promised him that I would. So here we go. Mr. Tommy One Time, how are you doing, sir? You are on mute, so that's a great start. Great start. I think most people are going to be happy to hear him.
That's the beer. I was gonna. I guess I should ask you. How are you doing, sir? I'm doing great
extremely, extremely shocked. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I'm almost at a loss for words to describe exactly what I'm feeling right now. I thought that there was no chance that we lose 2 out of 3. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. I didn't think that there was any chance that we lose 2 out of 3. Let's be real. On decision day, Atlanta was in what, 10th place? Was it 10th or 11th place?
It might have been 11th.
It might have been 11th place. They needed 2 teams to lose. They needed to beat, who was it, Orlando?
Orlando.
There was so many things going against Atlanta just to make it to the playoffs.
10% chance. 10%
and not only did they have a 10% chance of making the playoffs, then they have to play against what's the best team in the league, the team that made the most points in MLS history in 1 year. And you not only, because any given Sunday, right? That's the saying here in the United States. You think if it's a 1-game elimination, then maybe you have a chance. But you have to beat the best team in the league 2 out of 3 times. From our standpoint, or at least for me, I'm speaking me personally, although Atlanta has been an Achilles heels for Miami, I thought there was 0 chance that we lose 2 out of 3, especially with the home field advantage. So right now I am at a loss for words because there was no chance. I would have bet the house that if we don't win the MLS Cup, we at least make it out of the first round. So how I'm doing, I am shocked, and I am having a hard time articulating exactly what I'm feeling right now. And I'm trying my best, but I'm still having a hard time articulating what exactly I am feeling.
And I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I understand because of what you said. I mean, absolutely. I mean, this team coming out of Leagues Cup was not good. They had to get a couple of wins. Then they needed some help left and right to get in. Then don't forget, they had to go up to Montreal, right? Go up to Montreal, then come back on short rest, play you guys in Miami in game 1, which I thought was, look, you guys dominated the game, right? And even today, you look at the stats, pretty crazy what the stats were. But they were in the game pretty much the entire time. And then you go to Atlanta, and still that game was close all the way until the end. And then today, it felt weird, right? It as soon as you guys go up and Atlanta puts up 2, it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? And yeah, I mean, I'm at a loss for words because, like you said, didn't expect to make the playoffs, didn't expect to go to Montreal and play Joseph Martinez, who obviously has a huge grudge against how he was treated at the end of Atlanta, and then take 2 out of 3. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We have one true DP on this team. We threw a TAM player in there just for accounting purposes. So for them to be able to do this, it's wild. And for us, we don't have a manager. We don't have a full-time manager. And there was talks of Vieira coming in, and then Jim Curtin was let go, right? Which was wild. A couple of days ago, Atlanta actually asked to interview him, like a month ago or a few weeks ago or whatever it was. He declined, and now he's available. And now Rob Valentino, who just comes in to salvage the season, just knocks out the best team in MLS history. If I'm Garth Lagerwey, who's running this team right now, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? This is a hard decision for him. Even if he already said Vieira was the guy, right? Like, now you got to go, what the hell do I do now?
I agree 100%. And then real quick, Kako said that if he was Atlanta, he wouldn't be I don't know why. I would be ashamed to celebrate a win if I were Atlanta. I don't know why. I give all hats off to Atlanta. They are the Inter Miami Achilles heel. Every good team usually has that one team that you just can't explain why they're having a hard time with them. And what are you doing, Chris?
Listen, listen. Today is just a disaster, right? I mean, there's no heads or tails about it. Like, it is what it is. Like you said, Atlanta is our Achilles heel. I mean, the worst part is it's like you mentioned. I was just watching a little bit ago. Like, you're being asked to beat the best team 2 out of 3 times, and you did it.
Well, I think, and like we were just talking about before you got on, the fact that going into decision day, Atlanta might have been the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference. Like, they shouldn't have even made the playoffs, and here they 10%. Are. Right. Now, and I want to be very clear, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. This is why I do like the playoffs. And I know that right now it doesn't feel like like I should be saying this.
I think that's the worst thing you can say ever. You know what? In Inter Miami podcasting history.
I can give 3 fucks. 1, 2, 3. I can give 3 fucks what they think. This is why the playoffs are a good thing. Because in England, what are we, in November? I bet you there's already half the league 0 chance of winning the championship.
True.
And then that fan base is like, oh, but you know what? We could still be in the top division. We can just keep getting our ass kicked next year, but let's make sure we don't go to the second division. Whereas in here, your fan base is always in it. And I love it. I love it. Not right now, obviously. But when you're rooting for a team that isn't one of the top teams, you stay interested all the way through because you think you still have a chance. Whereas in England and all those other places, that's it. You're just interested. Or, I mean, maybe they're still interested because they literally have nothing else going for them. But in the United States, we have other sports and we have other things to be interested in. So that's why we need the playoffs here. So because I see that in the chat already a bunch of times. I hate the playoffs. I love the playoffs. I don't give a shit. I love the playoffs.
It's the USA, man. Like, that's the way it is. And when did you win Supporter Shield? What week was that? Or do you know the date?
Who cares? Like who cares?
But I'm just saying, like, everyone else would have been out of it. You know what I mean?
It was still in September. We won it in September.
Yeah.
Come on. So
I didn't enjoy the end of this game, to be quite honest. I didn't enjoy it. And Guzan is awful. I just want to say that because I think it needs to be said. I don't like the outcome, but at the same time, you do have to kind of give respect to Atlanta. But October our midfield was just abysmal this game. Like, I don't know if you looked at the starting lineup, but our midfield was hot garbage.
Let's put this right on top of Tommy's face. Placata. So
yeah,
this was it right here. This was the starting 11.
Redondo was, to me, all right. I mean, we're kind of like jumping the gun here with the way that we do the post game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you already did this earlier.
No. You jumped on like 3 minutes into us being on here.
Okay, well, just real quick, Tommy, and for those of you on audio, I'm gonna say out the starting 11, which this wasn't the case. Rojas was not at left wing. Right, I didn't see him in left wing, at least from my perspective. Messi at right wing, Suarez up top as striker, Gomez in the left mid, Kramaski in the right mid, which wasn't like that. Redondo was like a CDM sitting back, more like a center back, and then moving up every so often. And then you got Alba left back, and then Wigan right wing back, and then Martinez Aviles playing center back, and then Calendar playing goalie.
You didn't like the starting lineup?
Well, I don't know why Kramaski started. I don't know why we didn't start Gressel. Like, if you want to go balls to the wall, I mean, we talked about it in our last episode when we ended up losing in Atlanta. We mentioned that Gressel should have been given a fair shake. Why he didn't start is just beyond me. So you bring in Kramaski, who, I get it, he's like energy, right? Unlimited energy guy. But you don't sit him in the right mid. I didn't see him in the right mid. I saw Rojas in the right mid. I saw Kramaski in the middle. And it's like if Suarez was up top and Messi was just kind of floating everywhere, and Redondo was like swapping back and forth between CDM. To me,
he was playing the Busquets role. He was playing a deep line center defensive midfielder, yeah.
to me, and I'm not gonna. I guess I won't jump the gun and talk about who I thought was the best and was the worst. I didn't like the way that this lineup was structured, and I didn't think that Kremaski was good to start. I thought that Gressel would have been better to start. And I think that Kremaski would have been better energetically to be inputted into the game later on as a sub. Absolutely.
We had the same discussion last week where we thought that Kremaski being on there, maybe Gressel would give a more common presence to the possession in the midfield. But when I saw, and Tommy, we did the watch along, and I told Tommy and the guys that when I saw Kremaski and Gomez both starting, I said, we're going to blitz you. We're going to press, and try to win the ball. But it didn't feel like that's what was happening. To me, it didn't feel like. So I was like, what was the point of having Kremaski and Gomez out there together? Like, neither one of them are gifted tactically to hold possession and create for others. They're just they each have like 5 lungs and can just, or both locomotives. But I didn't understand why that happened either.
Does this feel like deja vu with Gressel? Because last year with Columbus, I think he started game 1 against Atlanta, and then he never made it back into the starting lineup. I think for the rest of the season, I think he ended up being a backup for the rest of it. Now, he came in late against that Cincinnati game and absolutely dominated, and that was the reason why they beat Cincinnati in the conference finals. I don't think he scored, but I think he had the key assist in it. But I think they thought he was a defensive liability, and
he is.
This is back-to-back playoffs that he gets benched. Just a thought.
But I have a problem here because Messi wasn't sitting at the right wing a lot of times. Messi was like floating into the middle. He
always does.
All right, okay, that's fine. But then take out Ben Krem, don't put him in, and let Gressel get that right side where he can cause some damage. Not fucking Cello Weigant out there in the right side just being a nobody. Like, you literally are a nobody guy. Like, yes, you came back and you hustled and you played defense, great. But like, you couldn't even come at the end of the game on a cross where if you were in the right place at the right time, you would have put that in the back of the net and it would have been a tie game and we would have been going to pens. At the end, I think it was a Luis Suarez cross. I don't remember if it was Luis Suarez or if it was Jordi Alba. One of the two did a cross right in the middle, right in front of Guzan. And it just ended up kind of like straying all the way to the other side on the right side. And I feel like if Cello was in the right place, right time as his right wing back guy, whatever was supposed to be, that he would have planted that right in the back.
Tommy, I mean, I don't want to keep you on this whole time because we're about to dive deep into Inter Miami talk. So I don't want you to just sit here staring at us. But I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Tata. How do you feel about Tata? Because Atlanta fans obviously have a love for Tata. Here in Miami, I love Tata, but the chat I've been seeing up and down. Tata out. I don't know. I haven't asked Chris yet. How would you feel about, or what are your takes on Tata?
Well, I was just talking about this in our spaces that, I spend all my weekday nights watching you guys, right? I watch all your shows and I watch a chat and I've seen it when you guys are winning. Even when you're winning, there's people that come here that say Tata out, right?
Yep.
And it confuses me. And like, I get it to a point, but like, it's even when it's games that you're winning by multiple goals. It's not like you're just getting, it's a close one. And then they're like, oh, Tata out, he's just blowing it. You guys are winning by 2 goals and people are saying Tata out. And I don't understand that. It's when I see Tata out during this, it's like, well, of course you're saying this. You were saying it when they were winning. And now that they're losing, of course you're going to say, now you've got the torches, right?
There's more torches there. Yeah,
they're all coming out now.
Right, for sure. Tata, when he was with Atlanta, he completely changed how he played in the playoffs to win MLS Cup, right? All of a sudden, he was giving them the ball and countering. That was like how he changed in there, and they ended up winning the championship. Still, he got you the best record in the league. I understand that you have the best players in the league as well. I don't know. I don't think he go. Danny, you said he got you the supporter shield. That's the game. Now, I don't know if, and you said this, you didn't really think that Miami was going to lose to Atlanta the entire time. So I don't know if that changes anything for you from what you said before the game.
It doesn't. But I am not as indignant when I see the Tata outs anymore. Because I think that when you lose 2 out of 3 to the 9th seed, I think that that's an okay conversation to have. So before it used to just annoy me because I thought that they were baseless. Now losing 2 out of 3 to Atlanta, let's have the conversation. I still would not get rid of Tata, and I still, I still don't blame this completely on him. But I'm okay having that conversation now. Before, I thought the conversation was stupid to have. Now, I think the conversation is one that we should have.
So. Yeah, and really, it was you lost 3 out of 4. I'm not trying to throw it in there, but I mean, or I'm sorry, it was a draw. It was a draw for that game. And I was going to say, because the other game, you didn't have DPs. We had DPs here, but I'm just trying to break it down to
because
apples
basically,
and apples.
We've played 2 in Atlanta and 2 in Miami over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Right. And you look at the game in Atlanta, the regular season game, it's the same situation where you just have one legit DP in your lineup there with Marinchuk, and I think he scored a banger in that one. But I mean, it's still it's an inferior roster. I mean, every game. I mean, I said that Atlanta was going to win this game, but it was just like I'm trying to like make it happen in my mind. But if anybody said that like for sure Atlanta was winning this series or this game, you don't believe them, right? Because again, it's just it's such a good lineup, right? I mean, there's just so many names to it that you figure it's going to happen. Plus, you can't win, or it's hard to win on the road in MLS, right? It's very hard to do it. And all of a sudden, Atlanta has done it 3 out of the 4 last road games, and in all must-win situations. Orlando, Montreal, and tonight. It's crazy what they've been able to do. It would be sad. I mean, it'd be cool if they continue to run this, right? And who knows what happened? It'd be really wild if both LA teams end up losing in the next round, because then MLS is like, we have no. I mean, I guess New York's a big market there, but like you're still running out of big names and big markets here.
Talking about Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota, eh? And it's crazy. I still don't believe it. I mean, I had a whole watch party here of friends that got in Atlanta, and no one believed what was happening here.
No, and it was a painful watch along. If you want to watch some fun goal celebrations on both sides, go. I mean, I know watch alongs aren't a thing that people watch on replay, but in case you want to watch, fast forward just to the celebration.
I would have loved to have watched that. I mean, I would have loved to have been a part of that.
Yeah. Well, you were a part of that. You literally said, "Hey, Atlanta, you're cooked.
You're cooked." I mean, I did join halfway.
Brad guy. I'm gonna give him shit. I'm gonna yell many things to him.
I did yell a bunch of things, very bad.
Didn't work.
And I'm kind of scared because my son is becoming like a clone of me watching sports. That's
absolutely horrible.
Oh no. Oh no!
And so
he's on Spaces going. My kid, he's like, I'm trying to get home to do the post-game show. I'm driving 98. Hey kid, are you okay? Driving 98 miles an hour?
Yeah, he was cool.
Fuck yeah, Dad.
Fuck yeah! Boom! Fuck yeah!
Well, Tommy, as always, I appreciate you jumping on with us. Hopefully, you could jump on with us for the MLS show when we're talking Atlanta, Orlando, and I guess we'll have that show in a week and a half. Since next week is international break, right in the middle of the playoffs.
So stupid.
It is so stupid.
But hey, I'll come back for sure.
All right, man. Well, as always, we appreciate you. Tommy with Battered Hair on. It's probably done for the season. It's always fun. But you still catch him on the Battered MLS fans if you guys join us with that. All right, Tommy.
Love you, Miami fans. See ya.
Later, Tommy.
All right.
This doesn't feel great.
No,
this doesn't feel great at all. I want to go back to that starting lineup. When you saw that starting lineup, what did you think?
Hold on. We had
we got a super slam from Darklow. There we go. Drake is so trash. He needs to go.
He did get beat. Near post. He gets beat near post a lot.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. He got beat
Yeah.
near post in Atlanta. He got beat near post here. It's becoming a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. All right, Chris. All right. So you said you wanted to look at the starting lineup again?
Yes, which by the way, Stancy, shout out to you. Yes, we lost, but appreciate you. I was able to get her that care package that I sent finally. Jeez, I am bad. But yeah, so look at this starting lineup. First of all, you were watching the game live with the watch along. It wasn't structured the same way. It wasn't 4-3-3.
No, it's more like a four. It's like more like a 4-4-2 with Rojas more in the midfield and Messi and Suarez up top.
But now that's the thing, right? Like on the right side, I noticed it was just Messi and Weigand. And then sometimes you'll sprinkle in a Rojas here and there. But Rojas, I didn't see him in the left wing like how he's supposed to be up here.
No, I mean I made this before the show started. I saw the lineup. I assumed that they were going 4-3-3. Francisco Garcia saying it was a 4-2-2-2. Yeah, so I think it was more of a 4-4-2. But this is what I put up before the game started, and I just didn't redo it.
I just don't think that the Kremaski move starting him worked out well. What did you think? What was your first impression when you saw this starting lineup?
When I first saw the lineup, I saw what I just said when Tommy was here. I thought Gomez and Kremaki are going to press. We're going to force a turnover with Rojas, right? He presses also. And I thought that we were going to be really aggressive pressing them, not letting them advance the ball up the pitch. And we would cause a turnover and Messi or Suarez would finish one early. And I told them, first 20 minutes we're scoring. And we did. We did score in the first 20 minutes. Not how I thought it would be off of a press, a turnover, and that we would score that way. That's what I honestly expected. That's not how it started. And because that's not the route we went, I don't understand why Kremaki started over Gressel. Because I would have preferred somebody that's a little more tactical, even though Kremaki gives you more defensively, I guess. But I would have preferred Gressel because he didn't press. Like I thought that was the point of having Gomez and Kremaki out there together.
Well, and that's what I imagined too. I thought Gressel would have been the better person to start. Now, Michael Nada is asking, why start Kremaki when it gives you nothing offensively or defensively? I don't want to go too far and say that he gives you nothing defensively because his energy and like he just runs on like a gajillion miles an hour. No, it's just 1,000% the whole time. So defensively, I think that he is a disruptor, right? A disruptor. Offensively, his touch isn't the greatest, but he can make a pass from one person to the other, right? So I don't want to say that he offers nothing. And then Mez, I think you were just putting this comment up right here. We deserved at least one penalty. Now, I wanted to get your perspective on a couple things because it didn't happen necessarily in front of me. At least I think one of them. I'm not sure. I mean, let's go through the game, right? I mean, we got the first goal. We were putting like heavy pressure in the beginning of the game.
Well, before we get into that, the towels, were people waving them around?
No, I got one towel, literally. Well, I mean, I got there late, so luckily for everyone's sake, I did not get there early enough to walk away with 20 towels. So I only got one.
Yeah, because I was expecting to be like people waving throughout the game. I didn't see one flag on one towel on TV.
No, there was just one.
Okay.
Nobody was waving any of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Factual Fruit is saying it right here. Cheap ass towels. They are pretty cheap. And it's sponsored by whatever water company that is. Yeah. And Stancy, I am slipping. I should have gotten there earlier.
All right. So we got on the board first. Like, I mean,
yes.
On the watch along. If you watch the watch along, that's what I told them. We would get on there in the first 20 minutes.
And that goal happened on the other side of me. So I didn't really get to see how that goal happened, but I could tell that it was off a rebound, no?
Messi had a beautiful It looked like it was gonna go in to Guzan's left, but Guzan had another spectacular block. Guzan is not the only. Guzan is the main reason. If you give it a percentage, Guzan is 80% of the reason why Atlanta beat Miami twice. So
Absolutely.
so he had an amazing block, but Rojas, because he's energetic and doesn't just stand around watching like Messi just run around with the ball, he attacked that rebound and put it in the back of the net. And we were off and running. We were up 1-0 in the 17th minute. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I 100% when we went up 1-0 in the 17th minute, I was like, okay, we got this. We're gonna win this without a doubt.
Well, and Tank is saying it right here. Guzan is Messi's kryptonite, which it just I mean, when we get to Messi's goal, I want to talk about that a little bit. It's unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable that we score, and then 2 minutes later, within a 2-minute period, we get scored on twice. It's completely unacceptable.
Well, the first one,
both slip ups on the defense, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm wrong for saying that.
No,
but
I'm having a hard time remembering the first one now.
I know the second one was the
counter.
It was the counter, but then at the same time, Avila stepped up too high, left the space completely open. So
I can't remember the first one, to be honest with you. The first one I don't remember.
Well, the first one, the first goal was Jamal Tiari. He ended up scoring. He ended up scoring. Jamal scored on us to tie it up 1-1. I mean, he scored both of the goals, really.
He did.
There was no assist on that one. Let me go ahead and bring up Alejandro's super slam.
Oh, you gotta let me know about these things. There we go.
There we go. So Alejandro says this has to be the saddest episode I ever seen. It's only gonna get sadder, Alejandro. You haven't even gotten to the end of the game. That's
wow. So I just rewatched the first goal. David Martinez and Thomas Aviles were just caught sleeping. They just left this guy completely alone and then Dax McCarty delivered a nice through ball to him. No, it was an over the top lob. Wow, that was horrible defense right there by David Martinez and Thomas Aviles. They both we had 3 men closing in on, I don't know who that was. That's not Saba, and they left him completely unmarked. And then the second goal, which happened right after, on the watch along, as I'm watching it, I'm telling the guys, because they were pressing Miami, and I said, this is our weakness. We were tied 1-1 at the point. And I said, this is the opportunity that you have to score is right now, because without Busquets back there, we can't build up the back. So if you keep pressing us, this is where we're going to have difficulty. And I swear to God, and obviously it's on record, right? We have it on YouTube. You can go back and watch it. 10 seconds later, we turn it over, and then the transition goes the other way, and it's like clockwork. We're missing Busquets big time in that back line when we're trying to build up the back.
Joey's here commenting saying, I can't believe how y'all letting Calendar off the hook like this. He's garbage. Can't even make one big save or decent save. And
Joey, if this is the only game you watched all year, I could see why you say he can't make a decent save. If you watched him the entire year, you've seen him make good saves. Like, it's hard to be a prisoner of the moment when you've watched this team the whole year. Like, yes, Drake isn't Manuel Neuer from Bayern, Germany. Like, he's not that guy, but he isn't horrible. He's a shot stopper, and he's saved us a few times this year. So I get it right now. And I know that this episode's like, it's going to be a lot easier having this episode later in the week when we reflect, even myself.
Yes.
Maybe I can have a couple of days to kind of digest this. Right now, having this post game, even though we had an hour to digest it already, it's going to be difficult because, you know, we're living in the moment, and right now our emotions are in it. But as far as Drake goes, to say that he's garbage and can't stop a decent shot, like, come on, he stopped plenty of those throughout the year.
It's a little drastic. I get it. if you use this sample size of this game, the game was awful. I want to bring up a couple
I
comments.
think you're completely wrong, Joey. I think you are completely wrong. He is not garbage.
I want to bring up a couple comments here. Justin, we need to get an office for you at Inter Miami. Perhaps, hear me out, Miami should sign a proper center back for 2025. I mean, they're just dying like little by little. We're gonna have 0 center backs.
And then real quick, Sergeant said Danny never saved us. Just take a look at the goal difference. Real quick, we had this conversation, I think last episode, or maybe during the watch long. I don't remember what happened. But we were talking about the fact that Miami gave up 49 goals this year. There were 3 teams that gave up 48 goals. So basically almost the same as Miami. And then there were 5 teams that gave up less than 48. So there's technically 5 good defenses in the league. Everybody else is shit. And I said, so Miami's defense isn't that bad. And then the chat was flooded with, yeah, but that's only because of Drake. Because the defense is shit. Mm-hmm. So now, is it that he saved us from being a shit defense, or is our defense really not that bad because really there's only 5 teams better than us defensively? Like, it can't be both ways. Which one is it? Is it a bad defense, or is Drake saving us?
And then Hazel is asking, hi, Chris and Danny, hope you guys are good. I just got home. What do you guys, with one word, call it this year? Failure. I don't know if you want to leave that to the end. I was going to say disappointing.
No, failure. I don't give a shit about. See this stupid supporter shield? That's right. That's it. I got the real thing. They gave it to me. The Cincinnati brought it to my house. They left it here. I don't give a shit about this thing. I know Justin Blair loves it. This is the stupidest award I've ever seen in my life. I don't give a shit about this. This Leagues Cup. I got one of these also. They gave this one. They mailed me my own personal Leagues Cup also. Don't give a shit about this either. I only care about the MLS Cup. We did not win the MLS Cup. So this is a complete and utter failure. Failure.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Failure.
And the worst part is, I was talking to my son about it. It's not even about the fact that we lost. It's the fact that we lost to the 9th seed in a 3-game series. We have to be best 2 out of 3. In the year that we won the Supporter Shield and scored the most points in MLS record history. I mean,
and my name is, you love to say this name.
My name is Jeff. Field is more significant. Cope all you want, but Man City could lose the league to Bournemouth.
Now, this is the thing, though. I understand. I don't know if you're a Man City fan or what team you root for in the English Premier League, but you know what? If there was a playoff system over there, Bournemouth fans would be engaged all the way to the end of the season. But you know what? They're not going to be engaged till the end of the season because they have no chance to win the cup. So I understand what you're saying. I get it. But here in the United States, they care about keeping all the fan bases happy and engaged as long as possible. I know in other places, they don't give a shit. They just try to make the top teams happy. And if you want to root for a winner, then you just got to root for those teams, even if they're not from where you live. But here, we care about making everybody entertained. So I do not think the playoff system is stupid. I like it, and it's not going anywhere. But it is an epic failure.
Alex LP saying epic failure. It is a pretty big failure. I want to keep covering this game, and then we can just cry with everybody else at the end. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we get scored on twice in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up scoring a goal later on. Now, again, this is all the way on the other side of where I'm sitting. So they call it offsides.
Hold on, Chris. I'm sorry. I know you want to just go into the game.
I mean,
Bournemouth can be engaged. Can be engaged because they can qualify the Europa. Oh, so they can qualify for the second best tournament in Europe. Congratulations. And they won't get relegated. Oh, congratulations. You get to lose next year also in the English Premier League. You get to be a part of the 20-team league that you have no chance of winning. Congratulations, Bournemouth. You don't get relegated. You get to keep getting your ass kicked by the big boys. Congratulations.
You get to delay being a loser.
That's it. Go. No chance next year either, Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're about to get stuck in the quicksand. I see it happening. So don't even look at the comments for like the next 3 minutes. But we ended up getting scored on. I mean, we scored, but it was they called it back. Was it offsides?
And they called offside. He was
But
offside.
was it offsides? It was offsides, clearly.
Yeah, it was offside. Now I did think originally that we had just tied the game, and forget about it. I was about to go absolutely crazy because if they put up 2 real quick on us and then we tie the game, oh, that's it. Like you completely sucked the soul out of that team if that were to happen.
Yeah. Now, at halftime, we're losing 2-1. Are you having a panic attack?
No,
because I kind of was nervous because there were no substitutions made, and I didn't know when Tata was planning on making a substitution. So I was a little nervous. There's a lot of game left, but I was a little nervous.
I don't know. You seemed pretty confident when you came on the stream. You said Atlanta was cooked.
Yeah, but then that's when I figured out, okay, Guzan's gonna be right in front of me. We're coming back, so the goals are gonna happen right in front of me. So then I started getting more excited, and then I kind of let the nerves out.
I was not worried. I thought that at no point was I worried in this game up until, and I told everybody on the watch along, if it gets to the 85th minute and we're still trailing, then I'll start to worry a little bit. But before then, absolutely not. I was not worried. I thought that we had this game no matter what.
So, I mean, we started the half and substitutions
we were on
actually, we were putting crazy pressure and substitutions were finally made. Ben Krem comes out the game 60th minute. Campana comes in, right? So we're like, oh, Campana, baby. Like he's coming in to wreck shit. Did you like that substitution, or did you think that Gressel should have came in?
I'm never a fan of Campana coming in playing wide. I like him as a lone striker up top. That's the number 9. Yeah. So I'm never a fan of that. So no, I wasn't a big fan of it. But what I did know is that Tata's going all in to score this goal.
Cali Rex is actually mentioning something very good here. You got too comfortable, Danny, and forgot the shield curse.
Look, it's like it's never happened. And with the team that we have, I didn't think that would be an issue.
Now, when Ben Krem came off the field, did you think that he played a decent game, a good game? Wasn't the best?
He wasn't pressing. He didn't really contribute offensively. Defensively, I didn't think he did much of anything either. I think he was a non-factor, I guess is the best way I could put it. I think he was a non-factor in the midfield.
Well, and my name is Jeff, says, bro, they put Campana in for height, and it was Messi with a header, which is just I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, the pass was just great. And then Stancy saying, I don't understand why Tata left his boy Gressel out the playoffs. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about this. We ended up scoring that header, and that's when I get gassed. It was a beautiful pass by Weigand, thankfully.
Messi positioned himself right in front of Gregerson, which is their best defender. And look, Messi gets a header, we're winning.
Yeah, typically.
But what was the best part of that goal? What was the best part of that goal?
The best part, like, I don't know if you, like, I stood up and I was, like, ready to jump on the field. My son was ready to run on the field. Like, all of a sudden, what's his face? I think it was Suarez. No, Campana. It wasn't Suarez. It was Campana comes through and said, "Get the fuck out of here, guy." What the fuck are you doing, man?
If you watch back I can't imagine what I did. I started like punching my hands. I wanted to punch Guzan in the face too. Yeah, I got so hyped. Not only when we scored, but the fact that I saw him there fall into the net.
Yeah, like laying in the net.
Oh man, I got so hyped. I just started yelling. I might have annoyed our guest because I got so hyped at that moment.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Mr. Krabs is saying you were getting hated on by the Atlanta fans.
Oh, for sure. After that goal, I was pretty respectful the whole game. But after that goal, yeah, for sure. Atlanta fans must have hated me. But Tommy sent me a text of somebody that sent him a message. It's like, yeah, I can't watch your show right now with this guy on the feed.
Are you? Yeah. Oh shit! I remember seeing that. Yeah, it's so stupid. I mean, I thought after that, I'm like, this game is over.
Yeah, me too.
We're walking away with a win. Like 100%. This is going to be the moment that's played the rest of the playoffs.
Oh, I was ready. Guzan stuck in the net. That was going to be a shirt. I'm going to tell you something. Yes. I'm kind of pushing him into the net. That's a shirt right now. It's happening.
Yeah, that would have been a beautiful shirt if we would have
Speaking of
won.
Which, even though I'm sure nobody's really hyped right now, But batteredfans.com, 20% off. Promo
Right.
code HOHOHO24 from now until December 10th. If I mean, look, we still this team ain't going nowhere. We'll be back next year, but right
Yeah.
now I know it doesn't feel like it.
And let me tell you something, Stancy. I love when Campapi gets violent.
Yeah, me too.
I
was
love
really
when
hyped.
Campapi gets violent.
Mm.
Now, aside from that, Danny, unfortunately, we get scored on later on in the 76th minute. Now, again, this happened on the other side of the field where I was sitting. But apparently, there was an issue where Toto went down.
Yep.
And then they made a sub. But I don't know whether he got injured and Atlanta didn't stop the play.
They didn't.
Or if he got injured and gave up and they were still playing and the ref was like, play on.
No, he
So like,
well, look, first of all, you know what? Too fucking bad, Toto. Like, you should have fucking gotten up because his bitch ass got up and kept playing right after. That's the one thing I hate about this sport is all that bullshit flopping and acting like you hurt. He wasn't hurt. He got up and kept playing afterwards.
Yeah.
So I know I don't blame Atlanta for not fucking stopping the play. Like, you know what? If they were like in the midfield or something, but they were there in the final third on the attack, why the fuck am I gonna stop playing? No, at no fucking point.
He got subbed off 2 minutes later for Busquets, which was a non-factor. Like, Busquets came on as a literal statue. Like, I don't know what he did. Like, first of all, you lose Toto Aviles, which is one of your better center backs, your premier center back, if you really think about it. You know what it is? That Toto Aviles is our number one center back. You lose him to injury or whatever. I mean, but like, come on. We're talking about like Martinez came later. Toto had been holding it down all season as the guy at center back. Yeah. Okay. And then you take him out and you bring in Busquets, who just got like approved medically to play.
But look, Busquets was going to come in even before that goal. Busquets was ready to come in before that goal. It's just unfortunate that happened. Now, the whole Toto Aviles thing, I know I saw a lot of Miami fans in the chat during the watch along saying that it was classless. I've seen Miami do the same thing. When somebody's on the ground, if they think like, no, that guy flopped, F it, I'm going to keep going. And they keep going. And that's what Atlanta did. They're like, this guy just flopped, F that. And they kept going. I don't blame him. Now, I get it at the same time, but like, come on, it's an unwritten rule. I get it. But if they think he flopped and it looked like he did, why the hell are they going to stop playing? It's on Miami to keep playing.
It really is. I mean, it's their choice. I didn't have a good view of what was happening, whether there should have been a delay in play or whatever. But I mean, again, that's just something that I kind of caught on later. Now,
anonymous, the ref needs to stop that if there was somebody really injured.
Ref was a jackass. Anonymous M, even though it should have subbed in Noah Allen. Hold on.
What about, you remember when Messi jumped over a guy that was injured in Nashville?
I mean, was he injured? Like, I mean,
exactly, but that's what we're saying. So, like, he didn't stop for that guy. He's like, I'm just gonna jump over your stupid ass. Like, come on. So you can't be a Miami fan. And thank you, Alejandro. I forgot about that.
That's very good. Very good.
You can't be mad about that. And then remember this play. Everybody was hyped about this play. Everybody thought it was hilarious. And he didn't score. And if he would have scored on it, it would have been even funnier. But nobody was complaining about that. Like, come on. Like, you got to keep playing.
Now, this sub, Anonymous M is saying, should have subbed in Noah Allen and Boosie together. In reality, at this point, like, Tata was going full offense.
100%. Boosie helps in the offensive in the attack more than Noah Allen. And then, thank you. It was Real Salt Lake, not Nashville. It was Real Salt Lake that he did that too. And then Ali saying it was the Rapids. Well, it wasn't Nashville. It was somewhere in the West Coast. But it happened, and we all thought it was hilarious.
So I didn't catch. I was watching the game. I didn't catch the end of the follow. The live. Robert Taylor comes in for Matias Rojas. I get a Robert Taylor boner, and then I'm thinking to myself, this is comeback city right here.
Yeah.
85th minute comes around. You say, by then, if we're losing, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, at that point I was a little worried. I took a shot. I was like, okay, it's the 85th minute. We're running out of time. I thought I was a little worried. I asked everybody from the Atlanta show how many minutes they thought of stoppage time. They either said 6 or 7. So nobody was shocked when they said 7, right? That was more or less expected. So
I thought it was
no
gonna be more.
anything there. Um,
I thought it was gonna be more.
I
I
didn't.
thought
Why?
I thought Guzan was a motherfucker holding that ball. Was a motherfucker.
Well, he annoyed me when he started touching his knee in one of the very last possessions. He started acting like his knee was hurting.
Yeah, because Robert Taylor decides, and he's going up to him to like legitimately be a good person and help him up. And he's gonna sit there like a bitch touching his knee. You fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here, you bitch ass bitch. Carol Baskin's ass.
Right, and then James, come on! The first game Messi stopped when their defender got injured. It was a better situation to score. Yeah, but like, there's plenty of times where we haven't stopped. Look, I can't. I'm not gonna point at that as a reason why they shouldn't have stopped. Like, Toto shouldn't have flopped. That's really what it comes down to. Keep playing defense, and you don't get scored on.
So, I mean, we get to the end of the game, Danny, and like the vibe was so bad at the end of the game. At the stadium, it was awful. And I want to tell you, I want to tell you something. As I was walking out of the stadium, and I'm trying to haul ass because I parked in yellow parking, and they put fucking fireworks at the end of the game.
Did they?
Yes. Blue fireworks at the end of the game. Dude, that's awful.
That is awful. Why would they put fireworks after a loss?
Well, because I figured, the pyro guy had to show what he did with his work. Somebody got paid to put those fireworks together. Those shits aren't expensive. Those shits aren't cheap.
These things are going up one way or another.
Yeah, they're like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna put it up. I think the color was red. I was like, this is awful. I can't believe that they actually, like, they brought the whole, like, I mean, it was just a disaster. It was dumb. The real Kano is asking, was there any fights between the two supporters? I didn't notice, but I did notice
They're very far from each other. They're on opposite ends of the stadium.
Yeah, they're on our side, on the south side, and our supporters are on the north side. I did notice that some players wanted to like fight on the field, but I was already leaving the game by then. Like Jordi Alba looked furious.
Or he went after the ref after the game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the ref was kind of terrible, to be honest. I think he wasn't the best.
There was one play in the second half where I thought it was a handball, but it hit the Atlanta player's hand, but it hit Wagon's back right after. So I am assuming that they didn't call a handball because it really didn't change the play, because whether it hit the hand or not, it was going to hit Wagon's back.
Yeah.
But I am almost 100% sure that the ball hit the Atlanta defender's hand. But since it wouldn't have made a difference in how the trajectory of the ball, because it was going to hit Wagon's back anyway, I'm going to assume that that's why they didn't call that. But outside of that, I mean, I didn't see anything crazy ref-wise.
Well, and then, hold on. Justin Blair with a real nice, great super slam. There we go. This, Chris, you need to give us your Waffle House order coming up. I promise at the end we'll do this, because Waffle House is one of the best establishments you can ever eat at in your whole life.
Yeah, I just had a full conversation during the watch along about how much I hate the Waffle House. So,
oh my goodness, you must have got grilled. No pun intended. So, starting lineup. Let's wrap this game up. Who gets your man of the match other than Messi?
Guzan.
We're talking about the guys in pink.
No, man. The guys in pink would have won this game if it's not for Guzan.
So you're just gonna give Guzan the man of the match other than Messi?
Yeah, I mean, Other than Messi, yeah, like who else could you possibly give it to on our team? Who stood
I
out
was
to you in a positive way?
Redondo.
Redondo had a good game.
Redondo to me played the best game in pink.
Redondo had a good game. Okay, I'll give it to Redondo, I guess.
Best game in pink. He had the best game this whole season.
Yeah, he filled in admirably for Yannick Bright and for Busquets that play that role. So
Yeah.
I guess Redondo, but honestly, I give it to Guzan.
Yeah. And look, Mr. Krabs, you're asking why give man of the match if we lost? Somebody had to play good. I thought that Redondo played the best out of this entire team. Now the Quepena award, who would you give the Quepena award to? I mean, you can give it to I would give it to multiple players.
Okay.
I would give it to Gomez, Kremaki, and Rojas. All three of the guys that were in the midfield.
Okay.
In between Redondo and Messi and Suarez. Because that's where they were sitting.
I would give it to Toto Aviles.
Wow.
That first goal, him and David Martinez were all mixed up, left this guy, I forgot his name, Jamal, completely by himself. That third goal, say what you want about not being professional or whatever the hell. Tomas Aviles shouldn't have flopped and stayed on the ground while Atlanta's in the final third. If he would have been seriously injured is one thing, but his ass stood up and walked off right after. So Tomas Aviles. Yes. The Pena award, Aviles.
And Ali A is just throwing this nugget out in the streets. The streets won't forget that Kamal Miller performance at home versus Nashville. Oh, how I miss him. Listen.
They didn't want to get rid of Kamal Miller. Was it Tom Bogert that told us, or I don't know if it was Tom Bogert on the show told us. It was Tom Bogert that they didn't want to get rid of Kamal Miller, but they needed to free up. Was it the cap space?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There was something they needed to do, but they Portland asked for Kamal Miller. They said no. And then when they were running out of options, they decided to just give him up. But they didn't want to get rid of Kamal Miller in Miami.
Now, I want to mention this because Ali A is asking, Chris, who would you start at Inter Miami right back position, Yedlin, Gressel, or Cello? I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put Gressel back there. He's not great defensively. I'd put Ian Frey.
100%.
And then, I mean, you're getting some shade here.
But why is everybody killing Cello?
I don't know. I mean, because he just didn't do enough at the end of throughout the whole season, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Drake didn't have a great game, 100%. But if you watch the first goal and the last goal, he was put in no man's land. That first goal, he was one-on-one. Even though you should never get beaten near post, but he was one-on-one. Again, I'm having a hard time remembering the second goal. And then the third goal, I mean, Amador with another beautiful cross. He did the same thing that he did to us in Atlanta. He did to us today. So Amador with those beautiful pinpoint crosses.
I mean, look, we got beat by a team that has been giving us a hard time all season. Mm-hmm. If there's anybody that deserved to beat us, it was this team. We did not deserve to win this series.
We've played them, Leagues Cup when Messi first got here, we kicked their ass 4-0.
Yeah.
After that, we played them in Atlanta, we lost. Then we played them to start the season, we lost. Then we played them. We played them again, didn't we? We played them in Atlanta, and we drew.
Yes.
Then we beat them first game of the series, and then we lost twice in a row. So that's 6 times we've played them since Messi's been here. In those 6 times that we played them, we've beaten them once, we've drawn once, and we've lost 4 times now?
That's awful.
They've beaten us 4 times since Messi's arrival.
Now I have a question for you, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's fair to say that, I guess, to judge how Messi played in the playoffs?
He was the best player on the pitch for Miami in all 3 of these games.
Yeah.
But
Which you could clearly see.
right. He was the one creating. He obviously scored today. If Brad Guzan isn't playing out of his mind, Messi scores a brace today. He scores probably a hat trick the first game. So Brad Guzan played out of his mind. So statistically, right? Because I see everybody's like, oh, 1 goal, 1 assist in 3 games. Messi didn't live up to his billing. He's getting paid way too much money, and he's not living up to it. Without Messi, I don't know how this team looks because Messi made this attack go.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't criticize him too much, but I do understand that at least here in the United States, right? It's like if you are the star, you're expected to do something to get us over the top. And unfortunately, he just didn't have the opportunity to do it. But for everybody saying that he didn't show up and all that other stuff, I think that that's silly to say that he didn't show up because he was the best player of the first 3 games. And if it was not for Brad Guzan, that needs to get drug tested immediately. If it's not for him, he has a hat trick the first game. He has a brace today. Yes. And then Dennis Lopez is saying he deserves some criticism. But what's the criticism? That they didn't win. Right? That's the criticism. But can you criticize his game? Like, what part of his game are you criticizing? Like, they couldn't get the ball to him, so he tracked back to the midfield to get the ball. He was creating opportunities. That first goal, it would have been a goal if it's not for Brad Guzan playing out of his mind. And then Rojas went and got the rebound. Like, how you could say that Messi didn't play well, it's stupid. It's just fucking stupid. You're stupid to say that Messi didn't play well. So if you want to say you criticize them because they didn't win, that's fine. But go ahead and you have a chat right now. If you're in the chat and you think this, you have a chat. I believe there's unlimited characters. Go ahead and tell me what aspect of his game did he fail at. And if you're watching this after the fact, again, unlimited characters. Please tell me, where did Messi fail outside of Brad Guzan playing out of his mind and not winning? Where did he fail? I think he played great. He was the best player on the pitch.
So are we the Heatles then? Is this going to be like the Heatles where we lost the first season,
but they made it to the finals?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. And look, Dennis has a fair point. He's saying, I didn't say he didn't play well. He has to do more.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, but it's tough. It's tough to ask one player to do more.
Right, but what else could he do? What's more? What's more than what he did? Scoring. I get it. Look, if that's the criticism, I get it. Messi, I'm sorry. I know you're human, but fuck it. You got to figure out how to get to the back of the net. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if Brad Guzan's playing the best game he's ever played. Figure it out. That's the criticism. And I get it because right now everybody's frustrated. Figure it out, Messi. I don't care if you're human. You just got to figure this shit out. That's the criticism. Okay, that's fine. Like, what else? What can I say to that? There's nothing you can say. They didn't win. So criticize Messi because he didn't score. Okay. Well, he did score. I'm sorry, because he didn't score more.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Well, Justin Blair's saying Messi should have made those saves. I mean, that's what he forgot to do, though, Justin. I mean, look, I think, and Mr. Krabs is saying this is the worst Batter Herons episode ever.
No. It's 269 is much worse.
It's a depressing episode, Mr. Krabs. This isn't easy to swallow.
What was the last time we had an episode like this? The U.S. Open Cup loss to Houston, probably.
Probably. I mean, not even because
Messi didn't play.
And we didn't really give a crap about Open Cup. Yeah, this is earth shattering, man. We lost the first round. We got to watch weeks of games without Inter Miami in it, and then watch a team hoist the trophy after we get a croqueta plate.
And Stancy said this episode's fine. Thank you, Stancy.
Yeah, much appreciated. Now,
all right. Now, can we get to the nitty gritty about the Tata thing?
So we're gonna go with the Mike V question.
Yeah. What do you think? Tommy, one time we asked him before he came out, and he said he doesn't get it. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. Chris, what do you think?
So, I mean, everybody in the chat, you guys could just simply either put in or out, or hashtag Tata in, hashtag Tata out. I don't think he should be out. I don't think he should be out. I think that he should be given the grace of next season.
Do you blame him for today?
I do kind of blame him for today because I feel like he should have made better choices in who he started. I think knowing that you're losing two defensive juggernauts in the midfield with Bright and Busquets, like, you know, so many people talk about it, especially Tommy one time. Tommy one time said that when they won with Atlanta, he changed it literally for the playoffs. The strategy.
They went to 5 in the back. Yeah. They
So
played 4 all season, huh?
So then why are you teasing us with a freaking Redondo sitting back there, but then pushing up and then sitting back and then pushing up? Why couldn't you game plan something that was a little bit more rock solid instead of bringing Kremaski in and then Matias Rojas, who's been in and out of the starting lineup? At some point injured.
Hey, Carlos, they want Jim Curtin to come coach Messi and to try to figure out that language barrier. That's what they want. I see a lot of people saying out. I saw a few ins, but it's been more out than in. I'm still going through them. Look, out. Get Jim Curtin, absolutely not. That guy sucks. Could you imagine Jim Curtin with this team? You crazy?
I mean, look at that guy. Does he look like he'd be anywhere near Miami on a daily basis?
No, I know. And he's accustomed to Philadelphia never had stars. So he's accustomed to coaching players that don't make a lot of money. They're young. He can talk down to them. He can bench them if he wants to. You can't do anything. There's more to coaching than just the X's and O's. Like, you need to have the personality to deal with these personalities that we got on this team. And with the players that we have on this team, Jim Curtin can't come anywhere near this team. So no, that's not an option.
Yeah, Jim Curtin's not going to be able to bully around these guys. I mean, he could do it in Philly where they're making working at grocery stores part-time.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think he should be out.
I don't think so either. And I also don't blame him for today.
And you don't blame him for today?
No, I do think that some of his tactics were questionable when you're playing the result, right?
Yeah.
But I think that Miami had more opportunities than Atlanta.
Well, a ton more.
I think they played better than Atlanta. So game 1 and game 3 were very similar to me. What was the difference? That Brad Guzan did the same thing he did game 1, but we didn't score more than they did. Yeah. We didn't make more of opportunities, and they capitalized on the few they did. For example, I'm not a big fan of the XG, right? The XG says how many goals you should have had, right? The way the game went. But I'll give you that stat anyway.
12 XG.
XG for Miami, 3.02. For Atlanta, 1.5. That's double.
Yeah.
Total shots. We had 25 shots. They had 9. They only had 4 shots on target. Like, Tata, all he could do is set the tactics, set the players, and perform. If they can't find the back of the net, if Brad Guzan's having the game of his life, and if Toto and Tata Martinez get mixed up and follow the same guy and leave somebody unmarked, that's not on Tata. I don't blame him for tonight. They outplayed Atlanta. They just didn't win where it counted, which was technically who scored more goals. But like, when you're talking about the game overall, this game looks a lot like game number 1. And after game number 1, what was everybody saying? Oh, man, Brad Guzan, we should have scored 1 million on them, but Brad Guzan saved their ass. You know what? This game looked a lot like game number 1. Nobody was complaining after that game because they didn't give up 3 goals. And obviously, I understand why, but it's very similar. We outplayed them both times. It's just that they got the back of the net 3 times today, and we only got there twice.
See, this is where, like Mr. Krabs is saying, it's not Tata's fault the defenders were shit. Look, I don't want to put the full blame on Tata for this game because it takes more than just a coach to win or lose a game. I don't think that having Ben Krem and Rojas in was the best idea. I feel like this could have been a perfect game for Gressel.
I think Gressel could have been okay in this game, but like I said, I don't see I don't see how Tata is blamed for this. You know what I think that sucks for Tata? That the 11 that he put up game one, I thought that was going to be the 11 that he wrote out the whole playoffs. And I thought with those
Yeah.
11, I think we'll beat anybody every single time. And
Yeah.
then we went into Atlanta and Busquets has pneumonia. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Today, Yannick Bright is injured. So, and I understand that we still have a deep team. So I get it. That's not an excuse. But I do think that the lack of continuity within the starting 11 did mess us up a little bit. And also, Brooks Lennon getting injured game one, I think might have helped him. Because Brooks Lennon doesn't defend. He attacks only.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they replace him. I forgot the guy's name, but he actually defends. So all of a sudden, they got somebody defending down the right side.
Instead of just on full-blown attack.
Right. So I think that in a weird way, that might have worked to their favor.
And on top of that, we've been attacking through the left side every single damn time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I think Gressel would have helped immensely. Because of the simple fact that you can be able to kind of flip the switch a little bit and kind of work off the right side. But that wasn't the case.
Look, I had, now that I'm looking at the stats, we had 64% possession, 25 total shots. We had 10 shots on target. They had 4 shots on target. We had, I don't even know what the hell big chances is, but we had 6 big chances. They have, like, we literally corners 8-4. Like, we dominated this game. Now that I'm looking at this statistically, we dominated this game.
Yeah.
But we just didn't score as much. And obviously, that's the most important thing. But, like, what the hell is Tata going to do if fucking Toto and Tata Martinez are there running into each other and leaving somebody unmarked? What are they going to do when Toto flops and now they're defending when one man less and everybody's throwing instead of trying to stop the play, they're trying to get the ref's attention. Like, hey, our guy's down. Yeah. The ball's still in play. Play.
I don't understand why he did that. That really killed us. And look, Dennis Lopez right here, super frustrated for Aviles.
Well, I wasn't able to make it to the game today, but I wasn't down about it too much because I thought 100% that I would be there in 2 weeks. So I was like, man, I'm missing another playoff game, but whatever. I'm not going to miss any more. I'll make it to the semis. I'll make it to the conference finals, and I'll 100% be there in the final. And I am at a loss for words of how I'm feeling, right? I'm saying a lot about the game, but that's how I'm feeling inside. I don't really even know how to articulate it because I don't even know. I'm so shocked right now.
I can't find the word either. It's probably going to be pretty close to like, I don't know, like empty, because like we devote so much time, all of us, you and I, and everybody
in the chat,
yeah, like we 100%. Devote so much time and like attention to this team, to content of this team, and so now it's like, ugh. Like, I mean, Mr. Krabs is asking, will Batter Herons take a long break? Alejandro's asking, no more Batter Herons. Like, no, I mean, it's I'm pretty sure we'll have an episode at some point, but
in the past,
we dedicate so much to the team and hoping that we'd be able to go ahead and have another game 2 weeks from now. I mean, that was kind of the cool thing that I looked at. Like, okay, this is game 3. We'll have a game now, and then 2 weeks from now, another game. Thought that would be pretty cool.
Dan, you got to find another plan. Yeah. Look, I thought that I had figured out my anniversary. I already told my wife. My wife's like, fuck it, I'm down. Now I got to actually find something to do. Now I got to find dinner plans and just...
yeah.
And to think, man, like, is this the last episode? Until no, we'll be back. We'll be back this week. We'll be back this week. We have to redo this when the emotions calm down a little bit. When you can reflect. I'm even probably going to watch this game over.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it again.
I'm going to watch this game over before we get back on here. And also, in case you guys haven't already, join us on Battered MLS Fans, because that's not going anywhere. We're still going to be doing that. Usually, Chris and I kind of take turns doing that. But as the teams dwindle down, maybe Chris and I can jump on together with our guests because there'll be less teams to have on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll still be putting out content, and Battered Herons ain't going anywhere. The last couple of years we've taken a month off.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it. We had it. This wasn't even a
This
conversation.
wasn't, yeah, like this wasn't even part of the plan. Like we were
No.
already planning what we were gonna do next week, like
Yeah,
what they were
man.
gonna do
Like
this, what they were gonna do that. Like we had a
this,
full plan in place for the next 2 weeks of
for
programming.
the next month until the
Yes.
final. We had a couple plans on what to do at the stadium for the final. Like believe me, and you guys, you're hearing me say this, but you'll never know like how shocked I am and all the things that we had talked
Yeah.
about doing in the next month. Like it really, we gotta wait a whole nother year. It just really sucks. It just
Yeah.
really sucks. So
I mean, that's it. That's it. Like that's
yeah.
the end. I mean, factual fruit. You're saying February, see you guys. Yes, at the stadium, buddy. But like, come back next week and hang out with us because we're probably gonna be talking garbage.
Yeah, no, we've taken a month off in the past. I do think that we should come back. I don't know if we'll come back
Yeah.
this week or next, but we'll come back 100%. Have a you have a and yes, you're 100% right, Soccer Daddy. I did say my wish was Atlanta,
Yeah.
because they've been our Achilles heel. That I wanted that to be part of our trip to the final. One positive. I just thought of a
No
positive.
politics, by the way, guys, please.
One positive. Here it goes. And this is just me, just random. When I've imagined winning the MLS Cup this year, and I've imagined it quite a bit, I always was down on the fact that we were going to be celebrating our first ever trophy wearing the worst kits in MLS history. So, positive, when we look back at the pictures of our first ever MLS Cup, we know that it won't be with these stupid ass jerseys because we're going to have two new kits next year, home and away. So these ugly ass salmon colored Royal Caribbean anchor, all that crest up the middle, all that we put to rest tonight. We never have to see that garbage again. And I'm almost glad that the worst kit in the world got buried with this horrible failure of a season.
Yeah.
So that's the only positive I can now come up with.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that the Dolphins themed one will be like an alternate one that we use more. So
no, that's a curse. Also,
year.
That is cursed.
Because
we're not going to see that shit. Yeah, we're not going to see that shit either. I don't want to see any of this shit. Next year is a new home, new away, and new alternate kit. So prepare yourselves. We're going to get 3 new kits next year.
Nice.
Guaranteed.
Get ready to shell out money, guys.
No Real Madrid podcast. Next year at some point, we're looking into just doing a general football podcast, but that isn't happening. And it definitely won't be just Real Madrid. No.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know how to sign off, man. This is so weird. I did not think this is happening. Could you imagine Orlando ends up winning the cup?
Don't even, dude. I mean, let me tell you, before the game started,
they're the best team left.
I was under the assumption that Charlotte won. I ended up coming to find out that Orlando came back and then won in penalties.
Yeah. Real quick, just to address this, Rohan, I am not I've been trying to watch the EPL, so I'm trying to pick a team to watch. So I have been watching Luis Diaz with Liverpool, but I don't know if I would consider myself a Liverpool fan. But if you ask me who I'm watching in the EPL, it is Liverpool. Luis Diaz was killing it this week, had the hat trick. Yes, Orlando is the best team left in the East.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather see Atlanta go all the way to the end, have Guzan retire walking into the sunset with his bald head.
I mean, you have 4 teams left in the East. You have Orlando, which is far and away better than Atlanta. Even though Atlanta, they just beat Miami, so you kind of want to be like, okay, maybe they can do it. I think they're going to get their ass kicked by Orlando.
But I want to mention something that they were talking about. Shout out to Scarves and Spikes. Subscribe to them and check them out because they're going to be giving some additional content for playoffs these coming weeks. They were mentioning that against these 3 opponents, Rebels, NYCFC, and Orlando, they have a record of 3 wins, 3 ties, 0 losses. So
I think
they have.
I think Orlando's gonna kick their ass.
I mean, but Atlanta actually scores goals. Charlotte doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna get their ass kicked. I hope you're right. I mean, I hope Atlanta wins because I don't want to see. Because the thing is, Orlando's the best team left in the East. NYCFC and the Red Bulls, like anybody that did the bracket challenge, it has to have been busted 100%, right?
Oh,
Not
1,000.
one person picked Columbus, Cincinnati, and Miami all being eliminated in the first round. 0% of people. All 3 of the top teams in the East, nobody had that.
Imagine picking the underdogs to win the series, and you're like 100% right at this point, right? Because they're all underdogs that moved on, other than Orlando.
Orlando was gonna make it to the final, man.
Wow, bro, you're like really wishing some real bad.
I'm not wishing anything,
like,
but that's how that's how this fucking season's gonna end. They're gonna be in the final. Now, I don't think they can beat the Galaxy, who I think is coming out of the West. I think it's gonna be Seattle, the Galaxy in the Western Conference Finals. I think Galaxy will beat them. I think it's gonna be Galaxy and Orlando, and I think Galaxy beats Orlando, but I think Orlando's gonna make it to the final.
You know how awful that's gonna be on Twitter,
so awful,
whatever it is. Like the Orlando fans are gonna be horrible. Like I'm pretty sure they're horrible already because we lost.
And Jose, you're right. Yes, this is my favorite part of the playoffs. Obviously not tonight, but this is why I like the playoffs. Yes.
Generally, I love that. I love the playoffs for the same reason.
Yeah, it's entertaining. People want to watch boring. People want the champion to be decided, and then you got to play another 4 games after you already crowned the champion. But yeah, let's finish the regular season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll stop gas bagging at this point because I'm just depressed. I'm gonna go and just do a lot of nothing right now. I'm not even sleepy. Yeah, I'm usually like hyped up after a win, and I'm not sleepy. I'm so down right now that I'm not sleepy.
Yeah,
but
join Alex and play pickleball.
For those of you asking Battered Herons, I don't know if we'll take a full month break. We got to talk about it. I don't know what we're gonna do. We are gonna come back in Spanish on Monday though, because we do have to wrap the season up in Spanish. So on Monday, 100% for sure, we'll be on in Spanish, en español a las 10 at 10 o'clock on Monday night. And then we'll see when we come back in English. But we still have a lot to talk about. We still got to discuss the whole Neymar rumors. We got to discuss who we're going to protect because there is an expansion draft coming where an expansion team could take one of your players, San Diego. Last time that we went through this, they took Indiana Vasiliev, thank God, but we don't know who they're going to take now. You get to protect 12 players, so I'm sure we could talk about that. And then Stanton said we need Battered Herons in Creole. Unfortunately, none of us speak Creole. I can give you actually 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can count to 10, but it probably sounded horrible. But I know very small amount of Creole.
My Creole is pas bon.
Okay, so you know more than I do.
Yeah,
all I go is ça passe.
Yeah, but que j'anoye, like that's que j'anoye. That's we're limited, guys. I've been learning because I work with a lot of Haitian people, but it's taking some time. It's not easy.
All right. I think that's it. And we'll be back. We'll just follow us on Twitter if you don't already. Battered Herons on Twitter, and then we'll let you know when we'll be back. We are doing, like I said, Battered MLS fans and a bunch of other stuff. So if you guys are bored and want to hang out with us, we do a bunch of other stuff. All right. If you're listening on audio, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friend. And as always, for those of you guys in the chat, you guys are the best part of the show. So make sure that you hang out with us. And if you haven't already, check out batteredfans.com. You got 20% off ho 24 until December 10th to get your merch before Christmas. And that's it for tonight. What a shitty night. And terrible night. Failure. And if you say Tata out, I'm not hating it because I think that discussion needs to be had. Maybe I'll watch the game back and I'll change my mind. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk later this week about it. All right. And then Alejandro's asking 60% off, right? No, because then I'll be paying for them. So no. Not 60%. Sorry, Alejandro. But I appreciate everybody. And until the next one, have a good one.